I wasn't even worried. I was like, either we gonna do it today or either we'll get it next week. I wasn't.
Yeah. All right.
But
Well,
yeah,
we in here.
I was trying to. You let me in?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Give me. I'm gonna hit it. I'm gonna hit it back that way. All right.
Okay. All right.
I'm in here. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, cool. Oh, you know what? It probably not gonna let me do that anyway. What's up, man? How you
Man,
doing? I'm still trying to.
it's all good, man. Got all them ambulance and things going on.
I hear you got all that going on up there.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
passing
not
by.
good. Heck, I don't want no effect.
You need. Yeah, I can make you co-host if you need to.
No, that's fine because I don't have anything pulled up to share anything like that. I don't. Well, yeah. I don't. Let me see. Yes, I don't have anything up. Oh, you know what? Let me see something. Only the host can share. Okay. No, that was just if I was gonna share
I
my
can.
screen or something.
I can give you. I can give you co-host, and then you'll be able to. You'll be able to share.
That was well. We'll do it if we need to because I was just gonna do. Okay.
Yeah, you already made a co-host, bro. So you know. So if there's something you want to share, you should be able to. You should be able to come
Okay.
share. Yeah.
I'm just looking my. I don't see none of my Zoom docs. That's not what I need. But that's fine. Next time I'll know Google Docs if I need to put something over there. All right. What's up, man? How you doing?
Man, I can't complain. I can't complain. I was a little bit tired earlier. I went downstairs and was messing around a little bit, and I was like, "Oh man, it's almost you good, baby? It's almost it was like 6:45. I said, let me come on up here and get everything set and going, and figured out I had to figure out how to change my name, man.
Oh, okay. Hold on. You know what? Give me. You know what I need to do? Give me 1 second. YouTube. Stop YouTube live stream. I'm trying to. Uh, um, I'm listening. I'm just trying to. I'm trying to. But I don't see what I'm looking for.
Trying
I
to
guess I
live
gotta.
stream on yours also.
No. Let me go grab my microphone.
Oh, okay. I can hear you. You sound good.
Yeah, same here, man. I'm a little tired myself, but you know.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
I do got some good news for you.
Okay.
I got my it should be done tomorrow, so I should be able to send everything out tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Okay. Good deal.
So yeah, as soon
Good
as
deal.
he told me today, so
Okay. Okay. So, what was that text you sent me?
man, that was hold on. Hey, that was That was actually something. What was that? Was that Monday morning? I think.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Monday morning.
So,
I don't know why it just showed up.
what's that? Oh, really?
Yeah, man, my thing be tripping sometime, man.
Well, don't feel bad because mine do the same. Like sometime I was sending people messages like a week or two ago, and they people wasn't getting them. So if you, I don't know, it has a mind of its own sometimes. So.
Modern technology, bro.
Mhm. So now, okay, that's what but I don't have it on my laptop. It's on my phone. So that was what I sent you was, which you probably noticed, that the book of Esther never mentions Yahweh at all. At all. It doesn't mention God's name. It doesn't mention Yahweh at all. The whole book of Esther. But um, when I woke up, I think it was Monday. Which I knew that because I've read that and I studied that, but I didn't know what I didn't know is that Esther's name um, it comes from a Hebrew word and it means hidden or concealed.
Right.
I didn't know that,
Yeah.
so that kind of that right there got me. So
Yeah.
did you know that?
I didn't know that. But it makes sense. We are in we're studying the Hebrew alphabet in our Bible study, and last night we were on Tet, right?
Mm.
And that's kind of what that letter means. But it's all about being safe in a safe place. And Numbers 9, so it's in a safe place. They liken it to the womb, but there's also pain associated with it before, like the deliverance or the birth or the benefit that a person will receive. Man, it's so dadgum interesting. So it makes sense for her name. Actually, I was getting ready to try to look this up a little bit
So
because
no, I think I grabbed something. So I found it. It's so I think the Hebrew word is satar, and the Hebrew name is Es. I guess you would pronounce it Estar or Esther or whatever, but it meaning to hide or to conceal refers to the hidden nature of God's providence in the book of Esther. While her Hebrew name was Hadassah myrtle, which means myrtle tree or myrtle branch, it symbolizes peace, joy, and righteousness. So Esther was the name that the Persians gave to her.
right,
So it was just interesting. And then Monday was Purim, uh, and all that came from when they were delivered from the Persians.
okay,
Well, not delivered from the Persians, but when uh what's his name? I can't think of her uncle's name, but they killed Haman. They had
right.
Haman. Um, so it was just pretty. It was pretty interesting that Monday was Purim. Well, Monday and Tuesday.
Okay. Well, see, I didn't know that. And me and my wife were talking about the different holidays and different things like that. I'm like, I wish I did know them all.
Man, it's but the way they celebrated them though is they actually like when you really kind of look into it, it's like they celebrated it. They had a celebration pretty much like every week.
Right.
You know what I mean?
What's going on? Yeah.
Yeah, not like the Pentecost or the three major festivals, but I mean like they every month they would have something going on,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it wasn't no working. It was like we just gonna like we ain't
We
doing
just gonna
nothing.
chill.
Yeah, exactly,
We gonna
exactly.
chill. We gonna eat, drink, and be merry.
You're exactly right. I
Yeah.
was I was telling somebody. I think I was telling I think it was my wife, and I was telling her about it was her. think I told my pastor this, and I think I told my son that when Jesus said, "No man knows the day or the hour."
Mm-hmm.
When you look at that, they when you do the new moon, it's a
Mm-hmm.
little slither that you're looking for. And what
Mm-hmm.
they would do, they would send people out there to try to see the new moon, because when they would see the new moon, they would blow the trumpets.
Yeah.
But sometime they would be a day or two late because they couldn't see that little slither.
Right.
So that's why they would say no man knows the day or the hour, because you really couldn't tell when you would see that little slither. So you didn't know the time or the day. You just knew you didn't know. But when you would see it, they would signal all the way back to the camp and they would blow the trumpets. Yeah. So
Okay.
little stuff like that is very, like we were talking about last week. It's
Yeah.
very important to know stuff like that, because when Jesus mentions certain things, you're like, if we don't know, like I said last week, we're from the Western, but if you know, you're like, oh, okay,
Yeah. A lot of it begins to make sense.
exactly,
A
exactly.
lot, a lot of it begins to make sense. I mean, Jesus said so many. He said so many things, man, that were kind of like, if you don't understand the historical context of what he's talking about, you're gonna miss it.
You'll miss
You
it.
know,
Yep, yep,
you're gonna miss it every time, and then you're gonna try to interpret it and think he's saying something that he's not saying.
yep,
You know, and when you understand it, it takes it to a whole different level, a whole different meaning, a whole nother level of understanding begins to
yep.
happen. I'm trying to
That's
think of
like,
what it was that I was reading, and I thought about something that Jesus said. I probably should write all this stuff down when I start thinking about it. But
that'd be
you
good
know,
idea. Good idea.
but I was reading something, man, and it was in the Old Testament, and it was like, it wasn't but one or two little words, man, but it was something. Jesus said these one or two little words. I wish I could remember what it was, man. And I was like, oh,
That's what it is.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I wish I could remember exactly what it was, but I can't remember right now.
I was somewhere today, and they were talking about they was talking about the time didn't add up, talking about Jesus stayed in the grave 3 days and 3 nights, and they was like, well, that time doesn't add up, and I was like, it's not supposed to add up. It's a Hebrew idiom. It's just like, if I say I'm gonna be there in a minute,
Yeah,
it's gonna it'll take me a minute to get in the vehicle and get over there, but I'm coming. I'll be there pretty quick.
right.
Within those 72 hours, the three which we're looking at it was in that time frame. So it's an
Yeah.
idiom. So it's like, but I'm like,
Well, but
but
I mean, even it's hard for them. It's hard for anybody with any type of honesty and integrity to say that the time don't add up, because nobody knows when he got up.
hmm
You see, I mean, and another thing, right? I know for the longest, see, we say day and night, right? We say, like we think of the morning as the new day. But when you go back and you read it in Genesis, it's night or evening and
the
then the
evening.
morning. Yeah,
hmm
it's evening and then the morning.
hmm
So it's completely different. It's
Completely
completely, it
different.
would be,
Yep.
yeah, it's backwards from what we understand. Because it says the evening and the morning were the first day. The evening and the morning. Wow.
hmm
You see what
hmm
I'm saying? So and we think it's the morning and the
And
evening.
it's very confusing if you try to, like, because I think it's one. I think even in Exodus, or yeah, Exodus. I think when they did like two sacrifices. One was in the morning, I think, and one was like at twilight. But twilight is not like we would think. Twilight to them was like between 3 and 5 o'clock, because their
Hmm.
days was like from six to, like, it was from 6 to 6 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
a total. I think, I'm not sure, but it was totally. We don't look. It's totally different from the way we look at it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. It
totally
is.
different. So I mean, to when you and goes back to what we were saying last week. Once you start kind of looking at certain things like that, the Bible just kind of it just opens up to you.
Yeah.
You just see things differently.
Yeah, you can't. But we were raised to understand all of this from a Western mind,
Yes, 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 yes.
not from an Eastern mind. Not
Yep.
so I mean the whole thing, man. And if God didn't have grace and mercy,
Right, right.
we wouldn't make it.
Mm-mm,
We
mm-mm.
wouldn't make it. If God didn't have grace and mercy, bro,
Yeah,
we
you're
wouldn't
exactly
make
right.
it.
I agree. Yeah, because man, yeah.
Cause I know
And
he'd be up
then
there. He'd be up there looking like, what is y'all doing?
because think of okay, you like you just said, but think about it like this: we're looking at days by using it. We're looking at more like the sun. They were using the moon. They was looking at the moon. They
Right,
look at the moon. So
right.
that's totally opposite than what we're looking at. You know what I'm saying? We're looking at the sun. They're looking at the moon.
Right. Everything, because now that, all right, yeah, stop and think about it. Everything, when you read the Bible, is all according to the moon. The new moon is all according
Yeah.
to the moon, not according to the sun.
No. No.
Ain't that
No.
something?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's one thing piece of information. If you want to look at it, you have to start uh unlearning some things. You know what I'm saying? You got to start unlearning some things. I'll tell you
Yep.
something else. That your I think I was talking to your daddy one day. It was your daddy or your mom, or or either they had both jumped on the phone and they was talking about how Joseph, the dream that Joseph had about the sun and the moon. But they was like, look, yeah, Junior told us that. Junior was explaining that to us, and he had the 12 stars, and he said the y'all will bow down, like, and
Yeah. Yeah.
but when you go to we're going to Revelations. When you go to Revelations, it's the same thing.
It's the same thing. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's not even talking about the context again. You got to know if it's talking about the stars that's out there now, or is it talking about like kingdoms or nations when they mention
Exactly.
that? Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm
Yeah.
learning. Look, you the more you read, the more you study, the more you be like, okay.
That's why it always cracks me up when somebody says, "Man, I done read the Bible from cover to cover," and I just laugh because I'm like, I know if you just read the Bible from cover to cover, you didn't understand one thing that you read.
You just saying it to say you read it.
Yeah, yeah, you just saying that to say you read it. Because the Bible is not a book that you can just simply read and understand it, man.
No.
You literally have to take time and study it. Now it might be different if you was reading it from an Eastern standpoint, from
Yeah.
over there, Israel, and it might be a little bit different because you might be able to understand more of what's going on in it. But when you are from where we're from, and you just talking about, well, I done read the Bible from Genesis to Revelations, and it's like, yeah, okay, but I already know that if all you did was just read it, and you
Mm-hmm.
didn't take time to meditate on it and study it and everything like that, you didn't understand the thing that you read.
Mm-hmm. I agree with
You
that.
know, you didn't understand one thing that you read, because even as many times as I've read the Bible, as many times as I've listened to the Bible, as many times as I've sat up underneath as much preaching and teaching that I could to try to understand just certain little concepts, man. When I went back and started having to teach it, you know, when I had to start teaching it, man,
Mm-hmm.
is when I really began to understand it even more. You
But
know,
that's I think that's anybody who begins to start when you start having to teach it and preach it, you better start trying to understand it more.
yeah.
I mean, you look at it like this: it's people. So you got that person that said, "Well, I read it I read it from cover to cover, right?" But you
Hmm.
have scholars that only teach one book, or they only learn one. They've been teaching one book for 20 years.
Yeah.
One book now
Yeah.
out of 66, but they focus on one book because there's so much in that one book. And that's, I'm not saying they don't, and I'm pretty sure they read the whole Bible, but their focus is just that one book. Like me and you talk about Genesis.
Bro.
Believe it or not, our focus is on Genesis. Now, we've read it,
Yeah.
the Bible, but our main focus is on Genesis.
Yeah.
For some reason, it's on Genesis. But we're not the only ones that do that. It's people that focus on Elijah, people that focus on Revelation. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just like I think it was last week, or it may have even been Sunday, this past Sunday, man. When I was ministering and I was teaching, man, and it's like every week, man, there's something in the book of Genesis just within those first few days, man. That pops out and becomes even more clear and makes that whole scenario of the fall even more clear. In a way, it's like, okay, there are so many little details that are in there, man, that when you about the time you think that you'd have exhausted it and you say I can move on from that now, and you someplace completely different in the Bible. This is what happens to me. I'm someplace completely different in the Bible, talking about something completely different. And where I'm at in that passage, like in Matthew, or I think I was in Matthew this last week, and that passage that I was in took me all the way back to Genesis and opened up another detail. Just opened up another detail, man.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, I know people think that I be thinking to myself, I know people think that that the only book I really want to focus in on is Genesis, but I can't help it. It just keep taking me right.
Yeah. Yep. I agree with that. And you see so much through the Bible that takes you back to Genesis.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially, and like I say, especially when you get to the end, when you get to Revelation, and then you see how much of that you can see it in Genesis, and then you can see that in Exodus. You see it just kind of all the way a lot, like the language that is reading and everything in his reading.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, man.
amazing.
Yeah. And I'm gonna have to take we doing Psalms 119, and it's been taking some time, because we trying to just focus on that letter every week, man. And it's like, man, I feel so inadequate, man. I need to take a week just to teach one letter. You know what I'm saying? So that when it comes down time to teach that particular section, and this is another thing, right? So we was reading Tech. We was reading the ninth letter, which was Tech, and you okay? Oh, okay. So just that one letter, man. I mean, when you start to understand the numerology of it, and then the meaning of it, and you look at it from the original Hebrew versus how everything has been translated, and the wording of the translations, bro, it's so much that is even lost in that.
That's where I'm at right now. I went to Psalms 119. Ted, I see where you're at.
Yeah, there's so much that's been lost in that, because even talking about, because it's when it's talking about, it says good, right? It says good, but can you imagine like every verse starting off with like the word good? You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And reading it from that way, it said, it changes the entire understanding. I mean, I think that they did a good job on the translations and everything like that, but you will, and I think maybe the overarching message, you can get it, but you can't get the overarching message just reading it. You actually have to, if you didn't have nothing but this right here, without any of the rest of the translations, without any history associated with it, without any of that, right? You can't read this one time and understand exactly what it's saying.
I believe that.
You know, you can't do it. You excuse me, you would literally have to spend time just meditating over each sentence
Mm-hmm.
in order to really in order to really get a good picture and a good understanding of what it's talking about. You and it's like the when the dynamics of the Hebrew alphabet, man, is just so, it's so intense, and it has layers associated with it. You know that is it's amazing, man. And it's like, man, I just need like a week
Mm.
to just really study this one letter and have to teach just the letter, not the whole, not even this whole passage. You know what I'm saying?
I'm looking at what this says. Tet is the ninth letter of the Hebrew alphabet, representing a T sound and symbolizing goodness, tov, creation, and hidden potential.
Hmm.
Listen to this. It signifies divine enduring goodness and is associated with the 9-month gestation period,
Hmm.
symbolizing spiritual birth, refinement, and the good hidden within difficult circumstances. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Y'all you walking that down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, man.
And I
It's
know
so.
it's deeper because look, and that's just something I just got off AI, right? So I know it's deeper than it gets way deeper than that.
Oh man, yeah, yeah, yeah. And so to
Wow.
bring all of that out in this passage, you know, yeah, yeah, you know, and I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. If I didn't have the foundation that I have with God's word, the 20 plus years of reading God's word and getting the revelation that He has given me over the years, Mr. Mark. Every time if you try to teach
Mm,
something like this, you're gonna miss the mark. You're gonna miss it because you will never understand. You'll never understand how persecution is good for you, and you're supposed to rejoice in the middle of your persecution.
mm,
And here's the other thing about that, right? God takes credit for it. God takes credit for your persecution. Come on, man.
mm.
A lot of people say, well, God don't allow this and God don't allow that. I say, you ain't never read the Bible. No, no. God will allow it. And
Mm-hmm.
God will let you know that He is the author of it.
Mm-hmm.
He'll let you know.
And he receives the glory.
And He receives the glory.
Mm-hmm.
But can you understand? Can you wrap your mind around the fact that God let you go through something that was going to turn out for your benefit and your good? Can you wrap your mind around that? Most people can't. Most people say that if God, well, why did God allow this to happen in my life? Or why did God take this person? Or why did God allow? Way wrong question. Way wrong question. Because what you need to be thinking of is God must have something that He is trying to either do in me or do for me that is to where all of this is going to turn out for my good. So that's what the scripture says. We said all things work together for the good of them that love the Lord and are called according to His purpose. They all work together for the good. Never said it would always feel good, but it would work for your good. And if you just think about Joseph, right? Just think about Joseph, right? He had a dream. God gave him a dream. So what Joseph had was a dream and a vision of how his life was going to turn out, right? He never seen all of the pain and the sorrow and the neglect and the loneliness and all of that evil and the hate that he was going to have to get through
Right.
in order to get to that vision that God gave him. God just showed him the end. He didn't show him the process, and he held on to that vision. He held on to what he knew he was going to, the way it was going to end up turning out.
Yeah.
A lot of people, man, I mean, you might have a vision, but you don't understand the process,
Yeah.
and that process is what takes a lot of people out, man. They're like,
Well, that's the refining part. That process is the refining it. That's gonna refine you. That's gonna what make you. I ain't gonna say make you or break you, because if you're a child of, if you belong to Him, it's gonna make you. It's not gonna break you. It's gonna make you. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So that's I think it's in when when was it Elijah, I was saying Elijah a while ago, not Elijah. I meant Isaiah, but in Kings, when Elijah went to see the widow,
mm-hmm,
and he went to Zarephath. When you
mm-hmm,
that mean, I think if I preached this a long time ago, that Zarephath means refining,
mm-hmm,
and when you look at that whole event, he goes to Zarephath, which was in, I think, Sidon, which we know was a camp. That's where that wasn't a good spot for somebody who believed in God. That's where the heathens were at. So,
right,
but he's in Zarephath, met the widow, and so it's a refining period. You know what I mean? That was going on, and it's just neat when you look at that and how she was, once again, she wasn't a Israelite. She wasn't from the, you know what I'm saying? She's an outsider,
mm-hmm,
but she did what the man of God told her to do.
yep,
A lot of times it's all about our obedience, man. Just being obedient. Just if we would just be obedient, our lives would be a whole lot different.
yeah. But the problem is, we think we know better than God.
Yep. Yep.
We think
Yep.
we sitting in a better seat than He is. We
Yep.
in the front. We think we got the front row seats to our lives and know exactly what's gonna go on,
Yep.
man.
Yep.
And it
Yep.
don't work like that.
Nah, man. You now we older and we look at it, you know what I'm saying? Like I should have did things different, but yeah, man, if obedience, man, well, uh Samuel said it best. Obedience is better than sacrifice.
Sacrifice. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah. So
But
what they
see
say,
that goes back to, now see that also goes with, and I preach this all the time, man. Jesus said that He wants to be your Lord and your Savior.
yeah.
Right? A lot
That's
of
two
people
different
just
things.
two different things. A lot of
They
people want Him to be their Savior, but they
yeah.
don't want Him to be their.
Yeah. Yeah, you're exactly right. Yeah. Yeah. You're
I preach
exactly
that.
right. Because Lord, that's a tough word for people to swallow, man. That's tough to swallow because now you gotta go through some things.
Yeah,
You have to deny yourself. Here you go. You gotta deny yourself because He's your Lord now.
yeah,
I tell people this, and I said this at our men's group the other day. I said, man, when I kind of first started, uh, and I gave, just really wanted to follow God and really wanted to. This before I even start preaching, I said, Lord, I and this is just me. I said, Lord, I want you to do me uh, like you do a dog, right, with a chain on it. I want you to guide me. I want
Yeah.
you to pull me. I want you to really pretty much just pull me where you need me to go. Because if I go this way, I want you to yank me back this way. But that was laziness on my part. But that's the only way I could tell him I want you to be the Lord over my life.
Yeah.
Because I know if that chain is not on me, I'm gonna just be doing this. But as long as you got me, you know what I'm saying? Now
Yeah.
people might think that's a crazy way to live, but that was a prayer that I prayed. That was what I did. So
Bro.
I wanted him
So,
to be the Lord over my life.
there. Check this out. Check this out. So, where we at? You still got your Bible open?
Well, I got my phone. I can get my Bible if you want to hear some
Yeah,
pages.
either one. No, I got you. I just want you to read it with me.
Where we going?
Psalms 119.
Okay, I'm already there.
All right,
What you
67.
reading out of?
I'm reading out of King James Version.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay. So 67 says, before I was afflicted, I went astray, but now have I kept thy word. You
Mm-hmm.
see, so what you were saying was, Lord, I know I have a tendency to wander and stray.
Mm-hmm.
So don't let me go too far. And so what God did was he said, I'm gonna let you go, do what you do. You gonna end up learning because of the process that you go through that you shouldn't do that anymore.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you'll keep yourself in line. You know,
Ah, yeah.
you see what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
You see,
Yeah.
because he says, before I was afflicted, I went astray. Right?
Yeah.
So I went astray, then I got afflicted, then I came back to understand God's word. And he says, but now have I kept thy word.
Mm-hmm.
It was because of the affliction that brought you back to
Mm-hmm.
make you obey the word. So now you said it was laziness on your part. Nah, bro, it was a prayer. It was already here. You just didn't know it.
Mm-hmm.
It was already here. You
Mm-hmm.
just didn't know it. And God
Yeah.
was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I got you. I got you."
I used to tell, I don't know if it was my brother. I was like, man, I just want to be unconscious and let him just move me around like a puzzle piece, man. Because what I was saying is, I know I'm gonna mess it up. That's what all I was saying is, I'm gonna mess it up. I know
Yeah.
I'm gonna mess it up.
But the thing about it, bro, is you will not learn. You will not learn if you don't mess it up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Unless you just willingly just go ahead and die and blindly follow everything that he has already laid out that you understand, right? If you blindly follow it, you have that faith, you have that trust, you have that belief, then you're gonna be good. And that goes back to, like, when we were talking, I was like, no, I was talking to a young man the other night, on one of my lives. I was talking to him, and he was 20 years old, man. Bro, 20 years old, man. And really trying to seek after the Lord and follow after the Lord, man. And he was like, I just have messed up so much. And I'm thinking to myself, bro, you 20 years old. You have
Yeah.
not messed up that much. You ain't messed up as much as you think you have. But I'm glad you got a heart to wanna not to continue to go down that path. Because and I told him, I said, there are some things that I have done in my past, and there are some things that I've learned that I just wish I never would have learned.
Right.
I wish I never would have experienced it, you know? And that's what I was telling him. And I'm like, but, the fact of the matter is, I did them. I know that stuff, and trying to unlearn that stuff and walk in a different way, man. I now it's like you actually have something to compare it to. You know, the right way and the good way. you actually have something to compare it to. And you got a lesson that whenever that thing stick his head back up again and want to tempt you to go that way, you be like, nah, I can't do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
already know. I already know where that's gonna lead. You know, they say been there, done that, got the T-shirt.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know, and then I could take that lesson and if I see somebody else going down that road, be like, hey, bro, let me holler at you real quick.
That's it right there, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should, as believers, we should always be willing to share what we went through to somebody else. You know, share it to them and explain it. Like, man, you don't want to look.
Yeah,
That's like my daddy would say. That's a long road to hoe, man. So you don't even
yeah,
want to do that, man. Like,
yeah,
let's
yeah,
not even go that route because it's just gonna take you. Because here's the thing, I don't, uh, some people get caught, some people don't get caught. You might be the lucky one to get caught because people think the lucky one gets away, but not all the
no,
time.
no, no, no,
Because
no. You
the
right.
lucky one might be the one that loses life. I'm sorry. That person that got away might be the one that lose life. The lucky one might have to go to jail or might have to go through something to get their to give their life to Christ.
Yeah,
If that, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
it's just man, look.
Nah, it's right, man. I mean, because if which I was telling them, God chasing them whom He loved.
That's true.
So to get a whooping by God in order to keep you straight, it's a good
And
thing.
that's a whole nother, like, he chasing those he loved. You know what that means? It's some out there he really ain't. That's the way I see it. I mean, somebody else might say, he
Yeah, I
that
mean,
he chasing those he loved. That let's find that because I don't want nobody. But that's what it says.
that is what it says.
So I think people. Hebrews 12:6. So I think we just gotta and that's another thing when you reading this word, man, you gotta slow down a lot of times and just read it.
Yep.
Slow down. All right, here you go. You have forgotten the encouragement. I'm starting at verse 5. You have forgotten the encouragement that is addressed to you as sons. My son, do not think lightly of the Lord's discipline or give up when you are corrected by him. For the Lord disciplines the ones he loves, and
Yeah.
he punishes every son he accepts.
Woo.
He's talking. It's a separate. Here we go again, kind of like last week. He's talking to the ones that belong to him.
Yep.
And it says what? The 7th verse said, what you endure disciplines you. God is treating you as sons. Is there a son whom his father does not discipline? Look at verse 8.
Yeah, I know. That's what. Yeah.
Go ahead
Yeah.
and read it.
But if ye be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then are ye bastards and
Yeah.
not sons.
Yes. That's what, and now I wish people would really understand that he has. It's like people don't get that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I said this last week, but God it's like this. We're all God's creation, but
Yeah.
we're not all His.
Nope.
The difference.
It's a big difference.
People say we're all God's children. No, we're all His creation.
Yeah.
We're all His creation. Now He created all of us.
Yeah.
But it's only a certain few that's His children. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, even when Jesus is talking about, right, he says, wide is the road that leads to destruction, but narrow is the gate that leads to eternal life. He said, wide is the road that leads to destruction, and many there will be to find it. Narrow is the gate that leads to eternal life, and few there will be that find it. So, when you look at the context of all of that, man, yeah, we're all God's creation.
Yeah.
We're not all God's children.
No.
We're not all.
No.
Not everybody is going to be saved, and that's a sad fact, man.
I
It's a
mean,
sad fact.
but it's all. I think once again, I think people read a little too fast sometimes, because even when you look at the ones that happened with Moses in the Exodus, a lot of those people, like, did none of them make it to the promised land? But a lot of them got dealt with. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
Because we know Moses, he didn't make it, but it was once again, it's a separation. He didn't make it to the promised land, but we know he belonged to God. We know that. But
right.
some people that didn't make it got punished. You see what I'm saying? Differently. It wasn't discipline, that they got punished.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
When he came off that mountain and they killed them 3,000, I don't know if they made it. I don't got the book, but I don't think they made it.
Okay, now you bringing up another subject, right? So and I don't know if we've talked about this before. We may have, but what do you feel? What do you think, and what do you feel about once saved, always saved?
Wait a minute. I'm gonna try to explain it the best way I know how.
Okay.
If you have made Jesus Lord of your life, and if you really have given him your life, I don't think no man can snatch it. I think you're saved. But there's a difference between saying you're saved and living it. Am I making you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you.
So I think it's some nuance in there, but I think, because wait a minute, what, you got people that say they Christians? Do you think everybody a Christian?
No, absolutely, positively not.
Say that one more time, fast. So that's what I'm saying. So just because you say you saved, you know what I'm saying? That's the point I'm trying to make. So once saved, always saved.
Well, wait a minute now. Hold on. Here. We right there at it. We right there at it. And this is funny, man. This is the fun stuff right here. Where did you start reading that in Hebrews?
I started reading at 6.
Okay, verse 7. If ye endure chastening, God dealeth with you as sons. For what son is it? For what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not? But if ye be without chastening, now go back up real quick. He says, but if ye endure chastening. That sounds like a choice, man.
What was that, verse 7?
Yeah. That sounds like a choice.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, because that's why I said what I said. You said once saved, always saved. And that's what I
That's
said.
the question.
Yeah, but that's why I said what I said, because anybody can say you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Truly saved, I believe you're always saved, because you're gonna live a certain way. That's what I'm saying. If you're truly living for God, you're gonna live a certain way. I'm sorry. So yes, you're saved, always saved. But just because you say you're saved, when once saved, always, is that what is that? That's Calvinism, is it? I don't know what that is, but yeah.
I don't know what it is, man, but
so what do you? Okay, that's my answer. What do you think?
I say no.
You
I say
no?
I say no. And here's the reason why I say no. It's because we always have the ability to choose, right?
Right.
We always have the ability to choose. So to me, even in this passage right here where he says, if ye endure chastening, right? It's like, man, I'm tired of being whooped by God. I don't want to do that. No, I refuse to accept his discipline, right?
Mm-hmm.
I refuse to accept his discipline. So therefore, I'm going to go do this over here. There are too many scriptures, man, that that kind of that alludes to people changing their minds, right?
But that's what I'm saying. If you
Wait a
change
minute.
your go ahead,
Hold
go
on.
ahead, go ahead.
No. Okay, go to John. Go to John 8:31.
Hold on. Before we go there, then this is I'm gonna read verse 11.
Okay.
Said, no discipline seems pleasant at the time, but painful. Later on, however, for those who have been trained by it, it produces a harvest of righteousness and peace.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not like, if you're truly there, your righteousness is gonna show up. It's not gonna like. That's what I'm saying. It can't.
No, I don't disagree with you.
Okay.
I don't disagree with your point. Let me put it like this. I don't disagree with your point at all.
Say John Wood. I'm sorry.
John 8:31.
Gotcha. And believe me, I'm not trying to justify the one save always saved, but I think it's a distinction in a person that's truly saved and a person that's just claiming to be, you know what I'm saying, that's just claiming it. Because like I said, you just said it a while ago, it ain't the word Christian is so watered down now, but everybody claim to be a Christian.
Mm-hmm. Let me see.
But once again, I don't got the book. I can't I can't go over God's shoulder and see who in the book either. So I'm just I'm concerned, about my own. I'm making sure my own and my family right now, making sure everybody in this household is
Right.
running.
Where is that? Let's see.
What did it say? Work out my own soul salvation.
Right.
You said 8:31, right?
Yeah. Let me get there real quick. I was trying to look up this other passage. Then Jesus said to those Jews which believed on him, if ye continue in my word, then are ye my disciples indeed. Right? So yet again, there is a choice that is given. You see what I'm saying?
And
So
if
if
yeah.
you see, and I think a lot of people don't understand that because if you're not willing to do it the way that he said do it and go the way that he said go, and you want to, as I always say, wear the Letterman's jacket, but you don't really want to be on the team, now you in an area where actually you're being self-deceived.
But hold on. Then says these to those Jews which believe. Okay, you in the KJV, right?
Yup.
Okay. I was reading in another version. Give me a second. Okay.
And he goes on to say, "You shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free." A lot of people say, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people say set, but it's like there's a difference between set and make. And they answered and said, "We be Abraham's seed, and we've never been in bondage to any man. How sayest thou, ye shall be made free?"
And that's crazy for them to say that.
Well, they don't. I mean, well, they're thinking natural. They're not thinking spiritual.
Exactly. But even they were from Abraham's seed. They were still in captives because they was in Egypt.
Yeah,
So even in the natural sense, they were, you know what I'm saying? They were slaves.
yeah, yeah,
But again, like you said, he was talking about being a slave to sin.
yeah. Let's see, Revelations 3:5. I think that's what it is. And look at this. Let me make sure that's what it is. I think that's what it is. Yep. Go to Revelations 3:5.
3:5.
Yeah.
Okay.
I need some more light. Try to get it off of me. You got it?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm here.
Okay. It says, "He that overcometh, the same shall be clothed in white raiment, and I will not blot out his name out of the book of life."
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That to me, man, that to me blows a hole in when people say, "Oh, well, there's nothing I can do to be, once I'm saved, there's nothing I can do, to, so that once saved, always saved."
That's laziness, though. That's what I'm saying. Like you're saying, not you, but I'm
Yeah.
saying a person that says something like that. You're saying that I can still live the way I want to live. You
Hmm.
can't. That's what I'm saying. That's the point I'm trying to make. You cannot truly be saved and your life doesn't change and you don't have a change in your life. That's all I'm saying. So when people say once saved, all saved, I don't believe in that. I don't understand. That saying to me is kind of bogus. I don't believe, you know what I'm saying? Because
Hmm.
yes, once saved, always saved, but you have to truly be saved. Your life will change. You
You
see what
have
I'm
to be
saying?
saved. You have to be saved all the way up until the moment you transition. Because if I,
Yeah,
and this is I
yeah,
mean, based on what I'm reading in God's word, when he says, "If you continue, then are you my disciples indeed, and if you overcome,
yeah,
your name won't be blotted out." So it's like,
yeah.
you know, bro, if you lose your faith, that's why the only thing Jesus really ever told us to fight was to fight the good fight of faith. Don't lose
Yes,
your
yeah,
faith.
yes. I agree with that. Yeah.
In spite of whatever it is that you might have to go through, keep your faith.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Keep your
Because
faith, no matter what it looks
that's
like.
because if you go all the way back to the beginning, right? Like that pretty much when we go to Abraham, that is what separated him from every his faith.
Hmm.
That's the separation thing right there is the faith. That's
Yep.
it. And if you because think about it like this, if you lose your faith, what else what are you gonna believe in? There's nothing else for you to believe in.
What do you
It's
got?
a wash. You know, that's exactly.
Yeah.
So once saved, lose faith. I don't believe you're always saved. Once saved, keep faith. I believe you're always saved. That's
Okay. Okay. Okay.
does that make sense?
That makes sense.
So, because like I said, if you got so many water, if you got okay, I don't believe that there's you got a football or basketball team. Say we got 7 people on the team.
Mhm.
Even though if you don't play, you still on the team.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You still on the team.
You see what I'm
You
saying?
still on the team.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, what if you don't play and you quit the team?
You're not on the team.
You're not on the team, but you see what I'm saying? But what if
Yeah.
you don't play, but you still have faith that one day you're gonna get in?
You still got faith that one day you're gonna get in?
Yeah.
You on the team.
You on it? That's what. Yes.
You on the team.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if you give up and say, "Well, I ain't gonna never play," and you missed the ring, you missed the book, you missed the book.
Yeah.
You gone. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's the way I would explain that. But I've heard that term before, and it I'm like you with that term. I'm like, because it's giving you where you can do what you want to do.
That's it, man. And that's it. And that's the part that I always had an issue with, because it makes it seem like, okay, I can go to the front, I can pray this prayer, I can repeat this prayer, right? It may not necessarily even mean it in my heart the way that I'm supposed to, but nobody knows that but God anyway. But according to what everybody has been telling me, if I do that and I go get baptized, now I'm saved. And there's nothing that anybody can do. There's nothing that I can do to lose my salvation. I'm like, hold up. You went through some outward rituals, right? That nobody knows what, how you truly felt in your heart. But you don't feel no guilt. You don't feel no remorse. When you do things that are against God's word, when you do things that are against God's people, you feel justified.
That's you can't be. How is that even being saved though? That's what I'm saying. Like that.
But okay. See, because and this is how this even really became an issue with me, was when Jesus said, "In that day, many will say, Lord, Lord, haven't I?" And they list off all the things that they did, right? And he says, "Verily, verily, I tell you the truth, depart from me, you workers of iniquity, I never knew you." Right? Mm-hmm. It blows my mind that there will be people that honestly think that they are saved because of the works and things that they have done. You know what I'm saying? But there's been no inward change. There's been no development of a relationship with Christ. There's been no remorse. There's been no nothing.
But at the same time, even with that, there's been no inward change. But I bet you they're not bearing good fruit either.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Now, it depends on what fruit you're looking at. They might not be bearing the fruit of the Spirit, because, a lot of times people kind of overlook the fruit of the Spirit because of what things that look good on the outside. Oh man, he donated $100 million and built the hospital.
But your discernment is off. Not you, but your discernment is off. You see what I'm saying? Because
right.
we're once again, you're looking at natural things, fruit of the Spirit. So we should be looking at spiritual fruit. So
right.
If you're looking at natural things, your discernment is off. You see what I'm saying?
But this is what I'm saying. That's why he said, in that day, many will say to me. So now I'm looking at the people that are talking to Jesus and how they're trying to justify their salvation and why they should make it into the kingdom. Is when they say, "But Lord, haven't I?" And they list off all the things that they did in His name. In His name, and this is the thing that blows me away about that. Right? They did all of this in His name, and the thing about it, whatever they've done in His name apparently was very successful. You see what I'm saying? So if you got people on the outside looking in and seeing these works that they're doing and the fruits of those works are successful, people would say, "Oh, I know they saved based on the fruits of the works that they have seen."
But
Right?
when I read my Bible, successful is not one of the fruit of the spirit.
No, I know, but I'm just saying. but you know what I'm saying? They would say that this. They would say no, but they would say that oh, like if they had to put them in heaven or not to make it in heaven. You said, and I'm talking about outside opinion. I'm not talking about yeah. And I'm looking at why is it that they think that the works that they did was so should be so impressive to Jesus that it should be enough to allow them to make it into the kingdom. But they are blindly thinking that they're saved. You see what I'm saying? It is a form of self-deception like no other, man. And it bothers me. It bothers me that statement that he made, man, bothers me. Because it'd been cool if you'd have said, like there's gonna be like 15 people that ain't gonna make it because they think this way.
But he said many.
He said many. So that lets me know, man, that there is a lot of self-deception going on.
Oh yeah, but I mean you can see it in the world today, bro. Like you can look. Hold on. Ooh, I heard somebody. Ooh, I don't know if I wrote it down. Well, you done heard this. The road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, so it's when your good intentions. I think. Oh, I don't know where I wrote it down at. I don't want to misquote it, but people will. Well, look at the world today, right? Just look at what's going on. So you say people try to do things, but they have good intentions in what they're doing, but their good intentions is really not good at all.
Right.
Because your good intentions is going to end up hurting somebody else.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But you have good intentions and you really think you're doing something. But I feel like, now this is just me. A lot of times when you're trying to do something that's good, a lot of times people want the glory for it. You know what I'm saying? So now, yeah, it's a good intention, or you might if you're a millionaire or whatever, trillionaire, and you want to give away 30, but you want the glory. You're not behind the scenes and just giving it away. You kind of want people to see that you're up front and you're doing it. That was good. That was a great thing you done. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But you want the glory as well. You know what I mean? So that once again, the road to hell is paved with good intentions, because even Jesus said to the young rich ruler, nobody's good but the Father.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Man, I walked through that one this past Sunday too, bro.
Oh my goodness, I'm trash.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I walked through that one this past Sunday. That was what I preached on this past Sunday, man.
Give me 1 second. Let me go let this dog in real quick.
Okay.
What am I got going on here?
Well, while he does that, let's take a music break. Let's see. We will play. Let's see if I can find it real quick.
I'm gonna find that quote, man. and I'm gonna send it to you. The one that somebody said something about the intentions. Somebody trying to do intentions, but it hurt somebody else. But I can't. I don't know exactly how they said it. But that's like we were talking about a while ago. Have you ever antinomianism, derived from the Greek word for against law, is a theological belief that Christians are freed by grace from the obligation of observe moral law or divine commandments?
Yep.
No, no. That's
Well,
why I say
that's
you got a lot of people that claim that they say they're Christians, but they want to do what you want. You can't know.
right.
There has to be some kind of change in your life.
Yeah.
You can't just do what you want to do.
It should be some kind of change in your life. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. You know, conviction is a wonderful teacher. You know, so it kind of goes back to what we were talking about when you were saying you wanted God to put a leash on you so that you wouldn't wander. But
Hmm.
it's your wandering that brought you conviction or that brought you the discipline that you needed in order for you to get back on track to actually be in God's word and to walk according to the law.
Hmm. Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because you found that there was safety in the law.
If they're safe, yep, 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 yep.
You know, and I think this goes back to what we were saying last week. A lot of people look at God's laws and say that they are cruel in their punishment and that they are, that they're burdensome. And it's like,
No.
no, they're safe. It's what keeps you safe. It's
Hmm.
what really keeps you free.
Hmm.
It's what keeps you free. I was telling them last night. I said, when I used to curse, the very first time I cursed, it didn't feel right. Right? It didn't feel right. It didn't feel right, and I should have never continued to curse. But because of peer pressure and the people that I was around and everything like that, and wanting to impress and not wanting to be the L7 and all this, that, and the other, I became fluent in a foreign language.
Hmm. Hmm.
You know, and still walking with God and doing all of that, but I'm fluent in a foreign language.
Hmm.
And when I knew that it was about time for, I had an inkling that God was getting ready to try to use my life. I'm like, Lord, you can't use my life. I got a problem.
Hmm.
I got a problem with my mouth. I mean, help me take this away from me. Well, He did. The first time He took it away from me, right? And then I started playing with it again, just being funny. Sometimes you make a joke and you put an expletive at the
Yeah.
end of it. It makes the joke a little bit more funnier, right? So
Hmm.
I started playing with it again. And all of a sudden, that thing jumped back on me, right?
But you're still walking with the Lord, though.
But yeah, but I'm still walking with the Lord,
Hmm.
right? And so, but here's my point, right? I put myself in bondage the first time by not understanding the warning. It didn't feel right. It felt
Hmm.
wrong, right? But I continued on anyway. So now I put myself in bondage to that, right?
Hmm.
The Lord came and freed me from it, right? And I'm still walking with the Lord, and He freed me from it, right? Then I started playing with it again and put myself back in bondage, right?
Hmm.
And so then I asked the Lord, I'm like, okay, Lord, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have been playing with it. Take this away from me again. His response was no. I was like, no. He said, if you want to get rid of it, you get rid of it. I took it away from you once.
Hmm.
Bro, the lesson I learned, two things. It was a blessing. It was a blessing in Him telling me no. First of all, because Him telling me no let me know after. Now this is hindsight is 2020. Afterwards, let me know that He knew I had the ability within
Ah.
myself to get to rid myself of something that He had already freed me from. So it didn't have a right to be on me anyway, but I had to resist it.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So So that was number one. But then the second part about it that really blew my mind and made me feel some kind of way towards God. And when I say some kind of way towards God, I'm not talking negative. I'm talking very positive.
Yeah, yeah.
And more love is that he believed I could.
Yes. Well, I mean, yeah. And he knew
You
you
see what I'm
could.
saying? He knew I could. I say believe because like God believed in me. You know what I'm saying? And that, bro. And but I had to endure the chastisement.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I had to endure the chastisement, man. And once that thing was gone again, man, I appreciate it. Number one, I appreciated his word where he says, uh blessing and cursing shouldn't come out of the, and this is a loose paraphrase, blessing and cursing shouldn't come out of the same fountain.
Mm.
With your tongue or with your mouth, you curse man, but then you want to turn around and bless God. This shouldn't
Mm-hmm.
be. You see what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Man, I learned to appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
You said something a while ago about freedom. It's freedom in its law, but and you're exactly right. And I think um, I've read Booker T. Washington's Up from Freedom, and he said something about with freedom comes responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
mean, because true freedom is is knowing you is one like there's one thing when you say when you was little and you was like, well, I can't wait to get grown because I'll be free, but you didn't understand you're gonna have bills and all that. So you can be free, but being free comes with a price.
Yeah.
Free is not even free because it comes with a price. Because if you're going to truly be, just like you said, you're free in his laws, but you while you free in his law, you have a moral character that you have to keep. Like that doesn't leave. Because if you get to
Right.
the point where you feel like, okay, I'm free and I can do whatever you want, that's more like he just turned you over to let you do what you want to do.
Yeah.
Now we talking about Romans, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
1. So now you can just do what you want to do, and he didn't let you have it. Because to truly be free, you're gonna have to walk a certain way and have a responsibility. It comes with responsibility.
Yeah.
And and that's a choice that you have to make to truly be free.
Bro,
Because
I
if you
heard this thing. I heard this thing. I'm sorry for cutting you off, but I
no,
heard
you
this
good.
thing yesterday. I was listening to a different podcast, and this guy was talking about work, right?
Mhm.
And it's so simple, but it's so profound. Think about this. He said, "You know your work is successful," and I'm just gonna use that word. But you know your work is successful because you get the reward of more work.
Mm.
I
Hey,
was
hey,
like,
hey, hey. But that goes back to what I think it was. Did you say this last week where when he asked uh about the servants, and he gave them this and he gave them that, and the one that did, he buried his.
yeah. Well, no,
But but
we was talking about that a couple weeks ago, but yeah, yeah,
but what I'm saying, the ones that did good, he gave them
more work.
more work. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
The wicked lazy servant. You see what I'm saying?
yeah,
That says a lot about what God wants us to do while we're here. Put in
right.
some work. We're supposed to be working.
We supposed to be
Supposed to put,
working.
yeah, yeah, and the working once again goes back is making disciples, bro. Like that's our job pretty much.
Yeah, yeah,
Is
yeah,
bringing more people to Christ, bringing more people to Christ,
yeah,
and
yeah,
and thanks to this new Roman road that we got here, people can watch this and we can bring and people can come. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You know,
man. Yeah,
so
yeah, man. Man,
that I like that though.
that man, don't ain't that cool?
Yeah, I like
I
that.
never thought, man. Like I
The
said, it's so
reward was more
simple,
work.
man. It's so simple, but it's so profound.
The reward was more work. That's I like that.
Yeah, the reward is more work. It's like I
Mm,
was like, oh man, I like that.
yeah, I do too. I do too. The reward is more work.
The
That's
reward.
good.
That ain't it though. It's so simple. It's so simple, but it's so profound.
Man, we too busy trying to get out of work, man. What you talking about?
Right. Everybody want to retire, man.
We too busy trying to, man. We too busy trying to get away from work, man. But I like that. Yeah, man. But I mean, and but being a believer, being a Christian, man, it makes you want to do work. It makes you want to. You want to that what they my little light shine, that old song. Your light is shining, and you want it to be a beacon. You want it to shine some light on whatever somebody else got going on to help them come to the light. So it's like the work, man. We're here to work.
We're here to work, man. That's what we're here for. And here's and see now it lends to, bro. Hold on, what time is it? Okay, we got a minute. Now it lends to now it lends itself to the other thing that I think that oh man, I was talking to my wife about this, man. There are a lot of people who don't understand the gifts and the talent that God has given them,
Mm.
right? And it's that gift and that talent that'll make room for them.
Hmm.
Right, and it's that gift and that talent that you don't. It's he says gifts and callings come without repentance. Right,
Hmm.
so there are certain things. So no matter what, right, if you use your gift, you use your talent, you use your calling for whatever it is, whether you are saved or you're unsaved or whatever, it will work for you.
Hmm.
It's gonna work for you, point blank, period. Right, it works. It works. It is a better work. Let me put it this way: it is a better work if you're using it in service to the Lord,
Hmm.
and you're making sure that He's glorified through the work that He is giving you to do. It's a better work, but nevertheless, it will work for you. But the problem is, our society does not encourage independence like that. It doesn't encourage people to have to figure out what their gift, what their talent is, so that they can bring it to the marketplace so that
Mm.
God can even be glorified through them using their gift and talent. You know, and that's a problem, man. That's a problem. There was my wife shared a story with me last night, man, about a young man who apparently was doing very well at his job at one point in time, but walked in and apparently got fired from his job. Right? He got fired and he started spiraling.
Hmm.
Ended up killing his
Uh,
wife, his four kids, five kids, something like that. Youngest of which was like 8 months old, and then turned around and killed himself.
mm.
Right? Because and I had a situation, so I understand exactly how he felt. I had a situation when I was younger where there was a threat for me to lose my livelihood, right? And I got a lot, and I had a lot of responsibilities. Well, what to me was a lot of responsibilities at the time, right? And the threat of me losing my livelihood was enough to send me in a panic,
Hmm.
right? Fortunate enough for me, it didn't happen. And when things settled down just a little bit, I said I'll never have that feeling again,
Mm-hmm.
because I am going to find, develop, or do whatever it takes to make sure that I'll always have another source of income. Because that is way too much power and control for one person to have over my life.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And I
Mm-hmm.
think that the way that our society is, man, is it doesn't encourage people to understand how to take that power back, or how to take that control back, and develop whatever the gift is, whatever the talent is, that God has given you, so that you will always be free.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? If you know how to go out and make money, to support yourself and to support your family, you don't need somebody else over your shoulder telling you when to come, when to go. You can't do this and you can't do that, and all this, that, and the other. They lose their control and you gain freedom. There's so many people, man, who, especially men, who don't understand the gift and the talent that God has given them, that is able to make them free.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? It's another problem, man. It's another problem.
I don't, but I mean, is it, I don't know, how can I word this? Is it up to us to teach them though?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a
Finding them though? No, what I'm
huh?
saying, so what I'm saying is going to find these people out, or just, now I understand if it's somebody that you're surrounded by. I get that. But I mean, just going to reach somebody like that to show them what their gift is, or for them to understand what their gift is, I guess is what I'm saying.
Well, we have to figure out a way how to help them to develop whatever their gift is. Because whatever your gift is, right, 9 times out of 10, you're going to need support for your gift. So you got to have people around you. It's like, okay, this is my gift over here, but in order for my gift to reach its full potential, I still need help, right?
Mm.
You see what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So there still needs to be a support system there, you
I
know?
understand that. Yeah, yeah, I understand
Yeah.
that.
But if they don't even have a clue, if they're at the place to where they don't think that they have one, or they don't even, they might know that they have one, but they don't believe that it can actually, that they can actually, could actually use it or do it, or make it reach, any significant level. It's a problem, man. It's a problem. To me,
That's
it's a
what.
problem. You
Hmm.
know, because like I said, I understand how that young man felt, man.
Hmm. Hmm.
I understand the spiral, the ability not to even think straight, man, because you in panic mode.
But what I'm saying is, you understand, but what made it so different between you and him?
What made it different between me and him was, number one, I did not lose my job. You see what I'm saying? I
Hmm.
didn't lose it. It was threatened for me to
Mm.
lose it,
Hmm.
right? And the threat was enough to make me
Yeah.
panic,
Okay.
and,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
try
Yeah.
to figure out, okay, do I got enough money for the
I see
rent?
what
Do
you're
I
saying.
got gas money? Do I got food money? Do I got, oh man, okay, what am I gonna do? You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I didn't lose my job, right?
Hmm.
And it sounds like he might have had a little bit of savings or whatever, but maybe not enough to really, you know what I'm saying? Do what he need, do what he really needed to do, and he spiraled.
Hmm.
You know, you can't, when you in panic mode like that, man. You can't even think straight.
No, I understand. I understand that.
you know. And so, I mean, from just what my wife was telling me about the story, man, the guy would have been intelligent enough to go and do something that, he could have recovered from it.
Right, 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 right.
It wasn't like it was the end, but he could not figure it out.
Mm.
And
And
there
you
was
said it
no,
was panic.
yeah, and he panicked, and there was only one way out that he could figure out. You see what I'm saying? And I haven't, I understand how he felt, but even like to go all the way down that rabbit hole like that. I never had to go all the way. I didn't go down all the way down that rabbit hole like that.
Right,
Like
right,
like
right.
like his end result was never anything that I thought about. You know, but I mean, if you start going down that rabbit hole, bruh, and there is you can't figure
Yeah,
anything
no
else
way to
out.
return. Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
The point of
So
no return, yeah. Yeah.
and so I think that it is up to us, man. It's up to us. Just like we would guide our children, our sons and our daughters, man, to try to help them to discover whatever it is that God has given them. No, it's up to us also to do that for our fellow brethren, man.
Oh yeah, no, that was just a question I was asking because even with that, you have to be able to reach people and people have to be able to they're gonna have to be able to talk back. You see
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah,
Because here's the scenario. Like, so if you throw that line out and that person is not trying to come back to you or talk to you about anything, and then they still go down that path, like you've done what you're supposed to do. You
yeah.
see what I'm saying? Because some people, um, all we can do is put it out there.
Right.
And I think that's what we're doing now. You know what I'm saying? So I think, but people have to want to have to people want to have to help themselves too. And I'm not talking about this young man that we're
Right.
talking about. I'm just
Right.
saying in general, you know. So putting it out there and you just pray to God that people want to help themselves. Because you look at, and this, the society we live in now, it's so many people that's not trying to help themselves anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that becomes well. that is a form of laziness. It's a form of entitlement. You know, and a form of wanting to put the blame off on other people.
Mm-hmm.
You know
Because
what I'm
I'm all
saying?
for trying to help somebody. I understand that, and just want to get to somebody before they go down that point of no return.
Yeah. But I think also, man, even let's talk about the ones that all they've ever seen was, or what they not gonna say all they ever seen, but what they learned was that the system was supposed to be gamed. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? It's all about gaming the system. It's not necessarily about doing what you got to do to create something or give something back. It's just all about take, 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 take.
Mm.
You know, even they need to be helped because they got to
Yeah.
understand that life is not about life. Actually, here's the funny thing about life, man. We say life is give and take, but it's actually not. Life is all about giving.
Mm.
It's all about giving, man. You know, that's what that ain't that something. Ain't that something? Because
Hmm.
even when you look at nature, right? Um, nature, a corn stalk, for example, right? You put one kernel of corn in the ground, and you get back a whole stalk of corn, which would turn into a whole field of corn from just one.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's the abundance of giving.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the abundance of giving, man. So that's what life is all about. But we're taught, and this goes all the way back to Genesis. we're taught about how can we take it.
Mm.
How do we take it on our? How do we take it? How do we get what we want? You know, when even in the book of Genesis, right, they were given everything that they
Everything,
could
yeah.
ever want or need.
Yep.
It was already given to them.
Yep.
But a selfish seed got planted and they felt like they needed to take something,
Yep. Yep.
you know? So we gotta, I don't know, man. This is probably one of them world problems that'll never get solved, but, you know,
Well, I'm gonna tell you, the only way to solve it, and it's gonna sound crazy, and well, not crazy, but sound very generic, is Jesus is the only way to solve that issue and to solve that problem. But once again, is getting people to accept him, and it goes back to all the way what we were talking about earlier, is letting him be Lord over your life, because it's not gonna be just as easy as you think it's gonna be when
that's
you
true.
first get on that journey. And
Right.
that's why we have people that turn their back, and once saved always saved, because you never was. You said you because once you dig into this thing, man,
Yeah.
you see you reap the benefits. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Once you dig into it. But nobody wants to dig. Well, I ain't gonna say nobody, but it's hard for people to dig into it because they look at me in your life and they're expecting that. It's not gonna work like that. It don't. God don't. It don't even work like that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you have to dig into it, faith in Him, believe in Him, trust Him, and let Him order your steps, and watch that thing just start opening up for you. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's just. But that's why we have to work. That's why making disciples is not easy.
Right. Yeah.
It's not easy at all. That's why
Absolutely
when
right.
and I'm gonna go back to the Bible, when Joshua and them went to the promised land, it was work. They had to fight. It was a fight. It was a literal
Bro.
fight.
Bro. Ah, it was. It was.
And
But
that's what
here's,
we're doing right now. It's a literal fight to gain little plots of land, to gain land, to,
yeah.
to cover this thing and create in the kingdom. You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? It's a
Yeah.
fight.
Yeah. But here's the thing about that, right? So check it out. And you absolutely right. They had to fight. They had to fight. But they wouldn't have had to fight initially if they just would have believed God.
True. True.
I'm like,
But,
man,
but
are y'all listening?
back to obedience again.
Back to obedience, man. Are y'all listening? Why didn't y'all just simply listen?
Back to obedience again and just listening. Yep. Yep. Stiff people, what he called them. Stiff neck. Yeah.
Stiff neck.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
So no, man. It's um it's a joy being in the kingdom, man. It's a joy being in the kingdom. But it's work to get other people to recognize how the joy that I have in this kingdom, the joy
Yeah,
that you have in this kingdom. Because it's so many, and we're living in a time right now, man, where the people are shunning the Bible, they're shunning Jesus Christ, they're shunning um, Yahweh, like they're shunning all of that.
yeah,
And if I was on the outside looking in, I really can't blame them, because Christians have done. When I say Christians, I'm talking about people that call themselves Christians. They've really done it a disservice. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I
We've
agree.
we've, we've done some things that I'm not proud of, but we've done some things that we should be proud of. And people look at that and they're like, man, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. So
Yeah,
That's why real true Christians have to shine, man. Like we really have to show people, and people really have to look at our lives and see that it is not what certain people are doing out there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's well, and the thing about it is, man. I mean, the light is always shown on what seems to be the
The
negativity.
negative, yes, 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 always,
You know,
yes,
always shown on what seems to be the negativity, and
yep,
that's what people judge by.
yep,
And it's like, man, eh, it's one of them things where no, we still gotta. You're absolutely right. We still gotta still try to do what we can do to make disciples, which means we gotta make friends. You know what I'm saying? We gotta make peace. We gotta let people who are wrong be right. You know, so that we can eventually have a conversation with them. You know what I'm saying? And
yep.
hopefully at one point in time bring them to the light. Not not uh, not pass that quick judgment off on people. You know.
Yep, yep, yep.
We got to do that one thing that was that's hardest for most people to do. What Christ found necessary to do when he was on the cross, when he said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do."
Mm-hmm.
We got to have a level of understanding that most people they don't have the mind of Christ, so they don't know what they're
They
doing.
don't. Yep, yep, yep.
You know,
You're
they don't know
exactly
what they're
right.
doing. So
You're exactly right, man.
yeah, so when that person look at you sideways or come at you crazy because they didn't say something or whatnot or whatever, you just gotta be like, oh, they know not what they do.
Yep.
You know, they know not what they do. So,
I got a friend, man, and I'm gonna get off here. I got a friend of mine, and he said it really touched me one day, man. We were talking. He said, "Man, I pray and ask God to put people in front of me so I can share the gospel to them, so I can give them the gospel." And I was like, "Man, that's awesome." Like and when he told me that, I was like, "Man, you know, that's you're praying and asking God to place people in front of you so you can share the gospel." You know,
yeah,
that was really it touched me when he said that. I was like, "Man,
bro, I think our antennas is always supposed to be up.
oh yeah, yeah,
We're
yeah,
always supposed to be looking for the opportunity to talk about God and speak uh, life into people. You know, just as we go about our daily walk, man. And sometimes, man, like they say, sometimes the only God people see will be
yeah,
you. You know,
yeah,
and it just might be in that kind hello, that gentle smile, that hey, I hope you have a terrific day today.
yep,
You know what I'm
yep.
saying?
You're right. You're right.
And you know, and because people are always watching us, man. It ain't like we can hide. It ain't like we can hide, man.
And there's
You know,
something different about us anyway. I will
yeah,
say that there's something different about us, just automatic.
yeah, yeah, and you know, and when God opens up the opportunity because somebody comes to you and might want to talk to you in confidence about something and it's like, okay, cool, this is a perfect opportunity. Let me drop some seeds.
Mm-hmm,
Let me
mm-hmm.
drop some. Let me drop a couple of seeds of what God said in their life. Or maybe water some seeds that was already dropped in their life. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
and keep it pushing. And just pray. Give them a quick prayer after we leave or whatever, or with them and whatever, however the situation works itself. And pray to God give them that increase. You know.
yeah.
That to me is what it's all about, man. I remember when I was coming up, man. I been just read something in the Bible or whatever, and somebody get on the bus and sit next to me, and I'm listening to my Run DMC, and they just start talking or whatever. So I put my headphones off and listen to them, and they'd say whatever they gotta say, and then I'd be like, "Well, hey, I read somewhere." And I give them the quote off of what I
Mm-hmm,
just read from the Bible. They look at me and be like, "Wow, thanks. I needed that." I'm like, oh,
mm-hmm.
okay. They get off the bus, man. I go back to listen to Run DMC. I didn't know what I was doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't know what I was doing. A lot of times people think you got to go out of your way to sow seeds. You ain't got to go out of your way to sow seeds, man. You just got to be willing to. You just got to be willing to sow.
Willing to do. Yep. What you say? Willing to sow 'em.
Willing to sow 'em.
Yep.
You know, and not worry about what the outcome is. You know, because all of that is God's business.
Mm-hmm.
Your business is throwing the seeds out there or watering the seed, whichever the case may be at that moment. You know, God is the one that's going to get the increase. But
Yeah.
here's the thing about it. If you do that work, he's going to reward you with more work.
And with that, that was like a Dave Chappelle joke, man. You brought it all the way back. You supposed to drop the mic, and with that, good night. But you're exactly right. Yep. The work does not stop.
Nah, work don't stop. Hey, listen, bruh, I have had a wonderful time. Everybody, I hope y'all really, I hope y'all enjoyed this. It's this conversation between me and my cousin, you know, Lil Rick and Lil Junior. Hey, listen, do us a favor and like the video, subscribe to our channels, our various channels, and most definitely engage in the conversation by leaving us a comment. We want to know that if what you think about what we're talking about. What do you have to say? Add to the conversation with us. And who knows, if you like and subscribe and all of that stuff, we might just try to see if we can get y'all on so y'all can engage in the conversation with us. But
yeah, man. Yeah.
Parting words.
What you say? More work. You're rewarded with more work. So let's get to work. You know.
Let's get to work.
Thank God for the conversation. Thank God for you, cousin. Thank God for just another day, man. It's another day's journey, and I'm glad about it. So, and I appreciate you. I appreciate I appreciate this whole. You know, it's been a while. It took a while for us to get it started, but I'm glad we're doing this, man. And I hope somebody will engage with us and just come to Christ, man. Like that's all I can say right now, and that's what I'm gonna continue to say every time you any closing words. It's gonna be that, man. That we're here to bring souls to Christ, man, so He can be Lord over your life and understand the benefit that you get when you become a child of the King, man. Yeah, and just not only for we want tangible things, but just knowing that your soul is in His hands, man, and He's gonna take care of you. So that's it.
That's it. All right, y'all. I'm not gonna start talking again because
I love you. Love you.
I love you too.
I say till next week, next Thursday.
Yeah. Till next week, we're gonna put a pin in it. God bless y'all.